We just finished this fabulous teleseminar with Gina Lee Nolan, star of Baywatch, where she's describing the many symptoms that she had of thyroid problems that were never diagnosed for years and years and years, 20 years actually. And I feel like this is such a common problem for women, and it raises this whole issue of how many of our symptoms get dismissed or they get misdiagnosed. She got diagnosed as being depressed when actually her problem was low thyroid function. So I want to take a moment to tell you about this special program that I have called Mission Ignition: Secrets of a Harvard Gynecologist on How to Reignite Sex Drive. It begins October 25th, and I would just want to give you some of the backstory. So let me fill that in for you. I have a similar story to Gina's in that when I was 38 years old and gave birth to my second child, I had a problem with depression, fatigue, bracing fatigue, and also um, hair loss shortly after I gave birth to my second daughter. It was a time of great joy. I was so happy to be a mom again and to be on maternity leave and enjoying that period with her, with bonding, with breastfeeding, and all of those things. But within a few days after I gave birth, my rather high sex drive husband was ready to start having sex again. I was not. Nothing could be further from my mind. And we got into this power struggle over it where he was chomping at the bit. He wanted the okay from the doctor, and I was just like, no, no, no. So this was where low sex drive first came up for me, and I realized that I needed to take it on. So I took on the project of my low sex drive, and I did what I've been trained to do. Harvard Medical School taught this to me. University of California at San Francisco taught this to me in my OBGYN residency. Turn to science, right? So I turned to science, and here's what I found. It wasn't helpful. Mainstream medicine had no answers for me. So I had to start my own project, which I called Reboot Sex Drive, Dr. Sarah's program. So with Reboot Sex Drive, I tested my hormones. I started with that. I found that I was low in thyroid function, low in adrenal function, and I had the estrogen levels of a woman in menopause because I was breastfeeding. You put that together with some of the ordinary relationship and sex differences that people have in a marriage, and it just turned into this perfect storm for me that led to low sex drive. So I found my way out of it. It took me many years to find my way out of it, but I corrected the low thyroid function. I corrected my adrenal issue, and I worked on my pre-menopause issues as well, my estrogen, progesterone, and testosterone. I did that together with a few other things. I worked on my side of the street in terms of my relationship in my marriage. I worked on some of the ancient practices that are designed to increase sexual energy, such as orgasmic meditation or Om. And what I want is to fast forward that whole process for you so that it doesn't take you years to correct your sex drive. You can use this formula that I've figured out to naturally and safely double or triple your sex drive. So if your sex drive has been MIA, missing in action, I want you to take note of this program that's coming October 25th. You can read about it on my website. Let me give you that URL. Grab a pen. The URL is saragotfriedmd.com/mission. Let me spell it for you. SARAGOTTFRIEDMD.com/mission, MISSION. So saragotfriedmd.com/mission. And I have a special offer for you, for the people who are listening to this recording. If you act within the next 3 days, I'm going to give you $500 off the regular investment. So regularly this program costs $997. For 3 days, I'm going to offer $500 off. So you can get the special pricing of $497 just by entering the coupon code IGNITE. IGNITE, coupon code IGNITE. So what is this program? This program is basically what I've figured out is the most evidence-based way to change your sex drive, to double or triple it. So it includes a week on your thyroid, how to get your thyroid working for you and not against you. It includes a week on adrenal function. The number one stress hormone is cortisol, and it's the number one killer of sex drive. Number 3, week 3, is working on the sex hormones, estrogen, progesterone, testosterone, how to get those really in your favor so that you're not either low in estrogen or have estrogen dominance. We'll talk about that. We'll also talk about female sacred sexual anatomy and how those models have changed, how to really get that working for you. We're going to integrate at the end. You're going to hear from a lot of fabulous people, including Pamela Madsen, who just wrote the awesome book Shameless, other thought leaders such as Jen Loudon, and Ellen Heed, who is masterful at female sexual anatomy. So I hope you'll join us. The 4 weeks includes Q&A with me, educational sessions where I put all of this material together for you in a really easy, practical way. You get quick tips on how to manage this stuff. You get workshops. You also get a forum. So all of that is going to be available starting October 25th, but act within the next 3 days to get $500 off the pricing. So I hope you'll join me in finding your sex drive again. You can get it back to where it was in your 20s. You can even make it better. So I hope you'll join me on October 25th. Act now. SaraGottfriedMD.com/mission. Use coupon code IGNITE. Okay, Dr. Sara signing out. Thanks for joining me.